Welcome back to part 2 of what to expect when hiring an SEO agency. And welcome back to the Marketing Podcast for Local Businesses, the place where small business owners turn dreams into reality through smart marketing. My name's Adam. I run websitedesigners.london, ranks in the top 1% of website designers in the United Kingdom, helping several businesses generate thousands of pounds of revenue.
And my name's Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, a SEO agency based in South London. We've worked with over 400 businesses, helping them generate more than 200 million in sales.
Amazing. So in part 1 of this 2-part series of what to expect when hiring an SEO agency, we talked about the first steps to understand the goals of a campaign, whether that's to increase sales, brand awareness, setting up tracking software to help track things like website tracking, traffic, keyword tracking, conversion tracking, and some great tools that Josh, you mentioned about Google Analytics, Search Console, and SEMrush. Now we're going to discuss things like keyword research, technical SEO audit and fixes, your backlink profile and competitive analysis, the creation of conversion rate and SEO optimization for landing pages in terms of design and content production. So Josh, over to you.
Perfect. So the next thing I would think about expecting from your SEO agency is keyword research. So this is the fundamental and most important thing you can possibly do in your SEO campaign. So it's super important. This is done early on in the first few weeks or days of your SEO campaign. And the keyword research is a process of identifying the keywords that are going to drive the objectives you want your SEO campaign to achieve. So if that's to generate more sales, then we need to uncover keywords that are transactional, that are going to drive traffic to your website, that's not only going to read your content, but actually take action to contact you. Now, if you're a local business, the things to think about here on the keyword side of things from your agency are they thinking about each of the locations that your business covers, each of the individual products and services that your business covers, and also each of the sectors that your business could target. So based on the sectors, locations, and products or services, you would create a variety of keyword combinations. So just as an example, so if you're a plumber and you're based in South London, then as a plumber you might offer boiler installation services as one service. Another thing you might do is bathroom installations. So with those two services, and you cover the whole of South London, a keyword combination might be service 1, which is boiler installation, in location 1, which is Bromley. And then you might do that in Croydon and in Brixton and in Greenwich. So the keyword research should look at each service you offer, each location you cover, and each sector you cover. And from this keyword research, you should probably have 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 maybe keywords, depending on how many services and locations you cover. And this is, as I said, the most fundamental and important part of the campaign, where you're going to uncover keywords that your ideal customer profile is going to search for when they're in buy mode in Google and they're searching for a service.
That is super interesting. So look, keyword research involves 3 kind of elements: the location that you're offering your product or service to, your product or service itself, and the sectors. So Josh gave the example of the plumbing service. So if we just use another example here of my favourite baker who's in their house baking away, they may, let's say they're based in Basildon in Essex. They might offer a wedding cake service. They might offer a birthday cake service, and the sector they're in is the cake baking industry sector. So location, think about who do you want to sell your product or service to. Your product or service, what do you do? What are you creating, selling, manufacturing, providing? And sector, what sector are you in? What are you in the automotive? Are you in the what service are you providing, right? Or sorry, what industry, what sector are you in? So Josh, once you have, let's say we know that this plumber wants to focus on South London that you mentioned, and he wants to really focus on his boiler installation. So would you then advise that client to say, look, let's target that keyword, or is there some more work that you need to do around there to understand the competitiveness, I guess?
So what I would expect is to speak to the client, understand all their services, all their locations, all their products, their services, the sectors, etc. And then from that point to go away and undertake the research. The research should be presented in an Excel document or a Google sheet, and it would have a line for each keyword, and then next to that it would show what's the average monthly search volume for each of those keywords, and then next to it, where do you currently rank in Google? So based on this data, if the plumber said he wanted to focus on boiler installations, but the data we got back from the keyword research shows that actually there's not many people searching for boiler installation, and there's a lot more people searching for something else that he does, then we could suggest it may be worthwhile actually going after this other service. So that's why this keyword research is really useful, because it tells you what your ideal customers are actually searching for.
Amazing. That is so important, and I think it's a misconception sometimes where people don't really understand the value that firms like yours offer, and this I think is one of those. You mentioned it's one of the most important things, right? And I completely agree with you. So look, think about it. Josh would undertake analysis to understand how many people are searching for the keywords that you want to rank for. So, for example, let's just use another example, going back to my baker, cake baking in Basildon, for example. He will identify how many people are searching for that combination of keywords in Google. So let's say 100 people are typing those keywords into Google every month. And then he'll identify an additional analysis to understand where your website ranks currently in Google for those keywords, i.e., are you going to come up on the third page when someone types that in, or the first page? So such important and valuable information there, Josh. That's amazing. So once you've done that, what are the next steps, i.e., do you then say, okay, let's crack on and go for that? Or sometimes you have to kind of present the customer and say, hey, look, you might be getting, there might be 1 million people searching for those keywords. You currently rank on page 10, but it's not always the right keyword to go for and try to rank for, right?
Yes, so we need to present this information to the customer, and based on a conversation with them, we need to think what would be the priority for us to pursue. So will it be boiler installations? Will it be another service or another one? And there's lots of factors that we could think about here. So what is the average profit per job? So is boiler installation more profitable than toilet installation or general plumbing works? What's the competition level? So how easy is it for you to get to page 1? What is the demand, as we kind of spoke about already? What's the average monthly search volume for that particular keyword? So there's a whole host of things that need to be taken into account, but what needs to be done is a prioritization of those keywords.
Yeah, that's amazing. So look, I guess the point that I really wanted to highlight there is not only obviously is this valuable, but don't be disheartened if your SEO consultant turns around and says to you, look, it's probably not wise to, go for cake making in Basildon, because that might be extremely competitive, extremely expensive to rank for. And if you're already on page 10, and even though it might be getting 1 million people searching for it, so it's super popular, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's the right keyword to rank for and get Josh or your SEO consultant to focus on, because you might end up 10 months in and not ranking very highly for it because you've only got a set amount of budget to spend on your SEO, and therefore the time might be better used on a different combination of keywords, which might help rank higher on Google, on the first page of Google, with a lower search volume, like, I don't know, 100 searches a month. But ultimately, focusing on that second set of keywords will get you more leads and more sales, right? So it's just finding the best combination as well as the most profitable, depending on the service you're offering. So do you find that that happens often, where clients are like, you know what, for example, with my company website, designers.london, we don't rank on the first page of Google. And I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that, because I know I could end up spending tens of thousands of pounds ranking for those keywords, but ultimately, because I know a lot of people search for it, but it's kind of counterproductive, right? And because you could rank for web design in Chelsea, for example, and I'll be on the first page on number 4 or 5, and I'll still be getting leads from that. So how would you helping a client understand that, do you find that's a challenge sometimes, or do you how do you rationalize that to a client?
Yeah, it can be a challenge sometimes, but I just try to explain how is it viable for you to pursue this keyword and get results in the short term, because a lot of people who start an SEO campaign want to see results in sort of 2-3 months.
Yeah.
SEO, generally speaking, is a kind of long-term marketing play, but what I would recommend is going after a series of keywords, some that are easy to rank for in the short term, some that are kind of medium term, and some that are long term. And that's how I'd get around it.
Perfect. So look, it's a combination of, just to reiterate what Josh said there, combination of focusing on those easy wins. So for example, web design Chelsea, easy win. Page 1, number 3. The medium term, maybe something like website design in, I don't know, London. No, that's long term. That's a kind of
Essex, maybe.
Yeah, Essex. There we go, going county, and then the capital of the UK, London. So that'd be the long term, right?
Yeah.
So look, that's super helpful, Josh. Thank you for that. I realise we spent a whole 12 minutes on keyword research, but I also understand it's, as you say, the most important thing. So I realise we initially said this would be a 2-part series, but I think it's worthwhile that we spent those 12 minutes on talking to you guys about keyword research, and Josh has provided some absolute gems for that. So look, let's just quickly recap what we've talked about, Josh, and you can tease out the remaining things we'll talk about in part 3. So look, keyword research is super important. It's about identifying the sector you're in, the locations you want to target, and the products or service that you offer, because that will determine your keywords that you want to rank for. However, speak to the expert, because they will give you the monthly average search volume of the particular keywords that you might want to rank for, coupled with recommendations for the keywords that you'd want to rank for and the search volume for that. And they'll tell you where you currently rank for those in Google. Josh mentioned also it's important to manage clients' expectations, your expectations, to ensure that you can see results straight away, or in 2-3 months, as you mentioned, by ranking, by focusing on those easy to rank keywords for the short term, and then the focus on the medium term and long term as well. So Josh, that's been absolutely helpful. So what are we going to talk about in part 3? I say part 3 might be 4 or 5, but this is super helpful, and I'm sure everybody listening will absolutely love everything you've talked about there. So talk to us what we're going to talk about in the following part.
So next episode, we can talk about technical SEO and the fixes relating to that, your backlink profile, competitive analysis, conversion rate optimization and SEO, landing page design, and the content production side of things.
Amazing. So look, in the next episode, we'll continue to talk about what to expect when hiring an SEO agency. Just to recap, in the first part, we talked about understanding your goals of your campaign, whether that's to increase sales or brand awareness, setting up tracking software to help you understand your website traffic, your keyword tracking, your conversion tracking, using tools like Google Analytics, Search Console, and SEMrush. If you haven't already listened to that episode, go back and listen to it. Super, super helpful. This episode, we talk about keyword research, and Josh gave you a little tease of what's to come. So thanks for listening. My name's been Adam.
And I'm Josh.
See you in the next episode.